Hello, it is us.
Hello, everyone.
How is everybody doing? And Betty was the first person in my chat. Thanks so much for being here. I know it's a little late for some of our friends who are in alternate time zones, but we're happy everyone's here. RK Gold, Avery, Sky,
Hey,
Run the World, Amy Joe. How is everyone? How's everyone doing today? If you're new here, Kat and I have been reading through a transcript from a court case between, drumroll, Young Living Essential Oils and doTERRA. doTERRA does essential oils too. And there was a split. There was a blood feud. There was a split. And so the people who got, decided that Young Living wasn't the place for them, decided to open up their own business and basically middle finger, Young Living. And it got, and here we are. We're on page 1279. And yes, Kat and I have tried to read every single page unless it was like, we're hungry for lunch, Your Honor. And oh, we have to argue about this because they're lawyers. So
we've gone through a lot.
We've gotten through a lot, and we're reading through it because the information control and multi-level marketing is so strong that we're like, you know what? We're going to read every bit of this, and you can decide for yourselves. And there has been so much tea spilled by Gary Young, by some of the former people associated with Young Living. It's been a whole twisty moment. And while I put the transcript into the chat, I would love the amazing Kat to introduce herself and I don't know, give her Spark Notes thoughts on the Young Living stuff too. So Kat,
yeah.
here you go.
Hi, my name is Kat. I'm a licensed registered dietitian nutritionist, and I primarily focus in on the nutrition related MLMs, but I guess last year I also started including Young Living in that because they do have a lot of health related supplements. And so, yeah, just going through this, there have been so many like little, and that's, I think, what has been really cool about us going through these transcripts is that there have been so many little like areas of tea spilled that have just made it worth it. That just looking over all 4,000 pages at one time, it's easy to miss things. So yeah.
One of the highlights for me was Gary Young saying that he wasn't practicing medicine, he was just helping with surgeries in Ecuador. And that, oh yeah, we actually didn't have enough farms to provide essential oils for all of our customers. So yeah, we have been outsourcing and buying what we needed from other people. And you can go back and read this or listen to our streams. It's a lot. You can even pull this up on Pacer yourself.
Yeah.
It's been wild so far.
Can we put the chat on the screen?
Yep, absolutely. Chat coming in hot. Here we go. I'll put us side by side. Well, we'll do this. We'll make sure to have a different view. I'm gonna let chat.
I can just scoot back.
No, you're good. You're good. There we go. We're good. All right, let me go ahead and pull this in. I'm gonna actually put it in Google Chrome because I think I'm gonna do that. Open up. Okay, let's see. No, false. How did I do this last time? I was like, it was so good last time, and here I'm just trying to figure this out. A presentation. There we go. Oh, here we go. This is what we did last time, right? No?
I'm very sore.
Did you do a
So I took a
competition
couple
or
of weeks off of working out,
okay.
just because my husband was sick, and then I was sick, and then my little one was sick, and then just catching up with work after all weeks of
Yep.
taking care of the household and stuff. And so worked out a really long workout yesterday, and so now I can barely walk. It
Well,
hurts
it's
to
good that we're
sit.
sitting down to stream then. So
It
yeah.
hurts to sit down on the toilet. It's painful.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful.
Like
Okay,
it's the
let's
getting
see.
down, like squatting. I'm like,
Yep.
ah.
Yep. Next
Um,
transcripts. Okay, here we go. Open with
that's
Google
probably
Chrome.
TMI, but that's
No,
pretty
it's not
common.
TMI. Okay, there we go. We got this. I want to do one page view. How do I do this? Sorry. Can I present? Oh, yes, present. Okay, let me get to the right page. 1, 2, 7, 9. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I pressed present and
Yay!
I'm so proud of myself. I'm sorry. I was yelling so much yesterday when I was watching a Beachbody call from Lindsay Matway and
Oh,
just it was just a whole moment. Okay, here we go. Let me add
top Beachbody Hun
yes,
distributor,
she is top. She is very much top of the food chain. Um,
where Ashley used to be.
yep. Wait, why is there no. No, no, no.
That could.
Yes?
I mean,
Does
yeah,
this
that
work? No?
works. But everybody.
Just the lines are gone. But it does let everyone be on the screen. Hold on, let's try one other. This one? No. This one? No. It's unless we take the chat on this if we take the chat off, it would be like that. Should we do that
Yeah,
and then do a chat break
yeah,
or
we could do that.
live chat? Y'all can decide. Would you rather see the see more of the screen? Now, if we do put chat on the screen, we can still see everything. We just don't see the lines. So it's y'all's call. Um,
Thank you
I'll,
for the
I'll
hair
leave the chat.
comment, Electric
Oh
Nima.
yeah. Oh god. Sorry. We're I'm just ruining everything. There we go.
Whoa.
I know. There we go. Let
Whenever
me go.
that
I know.
is way
I'm
too close
throwing
for me.
Cat through a loop right now. I'm gonna make Run the World a mod real quick because they were we were working on that earlier. Your chat and all. And oh no, do I not have my? Let's go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
For some reason, Christina, I read that as like 20. I see 21 day, and my brain immediately goes to 21 day fix. And so I was like, what? No, don't do that. You're not
With
though.
chat. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
People want chat, and that's perfect. Let me see what I can do.
I think when you had all four of them, that worked fine.
Okay. Like this one? Oh god. I'm just kidding. There we go. No. Like
Oh,
this.
that works.
Or you want to do it like
Yeah,
that?
that works. This one or that one.
Yeah, just like I
The only
wish
thing is,
no.
there we go.
The
Oh,
bottom one? The bottom one you like this?
yeah, that works.
Okay.
I think.
Okie dokie. All right, chat. Last week we did Baby Snark for the person and we are taking Kat on a roller coaster. She is a trooper. She's also probably the only one flexible enough to be on this roller coaster and not get injured. So, let's see. We can do
Cross examination.
polite demon lawyer. We can do baby snark. That's
Chat,
one of
what
the
do you want?
benefits of being in the chat is y'all get to decide. So, let us know what you would like. Oh, cool! 21st week of lifting weights with Brianne Freeman Fitness.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Live chat. We're not playing
Week
around. Y'all get to
21,
decide.
day 1.
Yes. So we can. So
This is Baby Snark. Side by side is best for me. What? This one? This side
Yeah.
by side?
Oh, okay.
Or this one?
I mean, this
one's option 1. This one is option. Oh, this is bad because y'all can't read it. That's the whole point. This is option 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is option 3. It's too small on this one. I wish it would. Let me try to do one thing real quick.
Option 2.
Yeah, this one.
What don't you like about this one?
Just the black sides on it, just that it's smaller. I thought we could. Wait, let me try to zoom out. Okay, I exited present mode. Hold on one second. I will.
Hi, Corinthians.
Corinthians, what's up?
Okay, everybody likes option 1. I'm in the minority.
What's option 1? This
option
one?
1 was when we were bigger on it was like the page, us. Yeah.
This one? Okay.
Mhm.
Let me zoom out and let me try to zoom out on this one real quick and we'll figure this.
I think that was option 1.
Yeah. Sorry for all this technical difficulties, guys. I'm gonna fix it. Just give me 1 second.
I was the only one who said 2.
I'm just trying to. I want
Baby
y'all
Snark
to.
for the witness.
Baby Snark for the witness. Okay. Let
Mhm.
me. Okay, let me just press present then. 1 second. Sorry. I'm gonna. I know what I'm doing wrong. I think remove source. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna press present. No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. I'm just being a technically challenged
Good.
person today. Chrome tab. No. Yes. Is it this one? Window? Entire screen. Hold on. And we're gonna press present.
Almost there.
Oh God. Sorry. Thank you, live chat. It would not be a technical difficulty stream without this. So okay, I'm closing my emails. We were ready and then I messed it up.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Good.
Chrome tab, window.
That's what you exited out of. There we go. Yay! We got it.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Except I'm on the wrong page.
A page. Yeah.
Right there, right? Cross-examination.
Yes.
Is that okay?
You got it.
All right. Okay.
At the very bottom. So we start there.
Okay.
All right. Baby
so
Shark.
The witness. Okay.
You.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I am Mr. Smith. Hi. How are you today?
Thank you. Hi.
We're going to try to get you out of here very quickly.
Whoops. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to talk. Okay. I'm going to talk just for a moment and ask, why do I have it open on my end and I was reading it like double. I don't know why I was doing that. I was making it harder for myself. Okay. I'm going to talk just for a moment and ask questions about your Young Living experience when you signed up and when you left. I know you covered some of it, but I want to go over what happened between the two of you. The first issue I have with you is the first question was, when did you sign up with Young Living? Do you recall?
It was 93-ish, 1993 maybe.
Okay. And the time when you signed Justin Harrison up for Young Living, was that in 1997, 1996?
I think it was before then.
95?
Okay. I think it's before then. Oh, wait.
Okay. Yeah. How much before then? If you signed up in 1993, it wouldn't have been much before then, either 93 or 94 then?
I would say 94, maybe, or 95.
Okay. So in 93, best you recall, you signed up with Young Living, and in 94, you signed Justin Harrison up. Is that correct?
Yes, that sounds right.
Man, that was a lifetime ago. That was so long ago. Were you even born then?
Oh yeah, I was born. I'm old as shit.
Okay. And you signed up in the company that Justin Harrison was in an MLM on?
Yes.
And do you remember the name of that company?
Equinox.
Okay. Little side note.
Uh-huh.
When you signed up with Young Living, I take it that you signed some kind of contract, a distributorship agreement?
Yes.
And that distributor agreement would identify your name and address and such?
Yes.
Your Honor, in this case, we requested Young Living to produce all applications, distributor agreements, and other documents related to the relationship between any distributor that Young Living claims.
Mr. Straight says, objection, Your Honor. Can we have a sidebar on this? The court says yes. A sidebar discussion was had, and Mr. Straight says, just so it's clear, that objection was sustained. And the court said, the mic picks up our bench conference. And Mr. Straight said, thank you, Your Honor.
Back to Mr. Smith. With regard to that document that you signed, do you recall if you did it online? Would they have had it online at that time in 1993?
No.
Or was it in person with Young Living back in 1994?
As I recall, it was printed. I mean, online was not really... Okay, it was handed to us by my brother.
And it was you that was the distributor for Young Living and not your husband at the time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, your husband, to your knowledge, did he ever sign an agreement with Young Living to become a distributor?
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, if I can display Exhibit 1136.
Mr. Straight says, is that in evidence?
In evidence. On 1136, it is the policies and procedures of the company. I'd like to have you look at 21.1, if I could blow that up. Quote, becoming a distributor. To become a Young Living distributor, each applicant must, end quote, and then down at the bottom, quote, submit a properly completed and signed distributor application, agreement, and order form to Young Living, end quote. Did you do that back in 1993?
Yes.
Did your husband ever submit a properly completed and signed distributorship application and agreement to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge.
Mr. Straight says, objection, foundation. The court, which is the judge, if you didn't know, if you're just joining us, said overruled, which means me, the witness, gets to answer. And so Mr. Smith is gonna, I'm gonna answer. Sorry, because I'm the witness. Oh, God.
Not to my knowledge.
So, okay. So she had signed her husband up, right?
I'm sure she did, because ghost accounts are number one, thing to do, because you want to take advantage of ordering and getting commission and all that stuff. So I'm sure she did sign her husband up.
It's really interesting, too, that my friend who I had ordered from to support her business also signed me up. And I didn't know that she had signed me up as a distributor until her upline reached out to me a year later and was like, hey, you're going to put another order in? I was like, what? Remember?
Wow. Yep, I do remember that. And it's so twisty. And we heard last night, well, I did on my stream, and I'm re-uploading it because I ended it 3 times. But not Brienne. I'm thinking Brienne Freeman because of Christina, but Lindsay Matway, the original OG top pyramid performer in Beachbody, she was talking about how you can't really help people if they're not going to be brand partners. And why wouldn't you just make them, whatever, not brand partners, but coaches and distributors. And it's like, are you really trying to help people? Or are you trying to pad your commission check? Because it sure sounds like the latter to me. And so they're all focused on that. People in Young Living are focused on it, and other MLMs are focused on it too.
That's so weird because, I don't know, I'm not out here trying to make more dietitians. I support people who want to do that, and that's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
But
you're not more successful if you create thousands of dietitians. You're successful when you help people heal their relationship with their food and help them have a more positive, right? You're helping them have a healthier relationship with food, and that they can nourish their body for what they need and stuff like that. I'm putting words in Kat's mouth, and I'm
no,
sure
that's exactly you got it.
I messed this up so many times. When I tried to introduce Danielle the other day to one of my streams, and I was like, I'm so enthusiastic, and sometimes I miss the mark so hard, and I'm like,
you hit it. Yeah, no, you hit everything. But it doesn't matter what they do, what their jobs are. That's so weird, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now I know where I am. And then in section 2.3, just below that, if I could blow that up, quote, distributor application, Application 2.3. Applicants must submit a distributor application and agreement form to Young Living. End quote. Again, to your knowledge, did your husband ever submit any such application to Young Living?
Not to my knowledge.
Let's turn over to 3.3. Next page, 3.3, quote, same household distributorship, end quote. If I can blow that up, quote, husbands and wives may not sponsor each other or have separate distributor relationships with Young Living via participation in each other's distributor business, end quote. Do you see that?
Yes.
It goes on to say in the bottom of that sentence, quote, if one spouse is already a distributor, the non-participating spouse may become a co-applicant on the same distributor record as his or her spouse. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did your husband, to your knowledge, ever sign a distributorship agreement on become a co-applicant with you?
Not to my knowledge.
So between 1993 and 2008, when he signed with doTERRA, he was never, to your knowledge, a distributor with Young Living. Is that accurate?
Not to my knowledge.
And do you know if you kept your distributorship agreement from back in 1993?
I have a file cabinet that's not in my home, but that has old records and things.
Would you expect Young Living to have kept that same distributorship agreement?
Mr. Straight says objection, foundation, and calls for speculation. The court says sustained, which means me, the witness, baby Snark cannot answer.
Did you have a practice of destroying any of your documents that you kept in kind of a practice or after some number of years and getting rid of old ones?
Yeah, yes.
Do you know if you still have that document around?
No, because I've gone through a lot of documents and shredded and gotten rid of.
Now, in 1993, when you became a distributor, did your husband from time to time help you in that distributorship?
Yes, he supported me.
And did he attend conferences with you from time to time?
Yeah, yes, I asked him if he would attend with me.
So we've already talked about one in 1997. You called it the Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
I'm pretty certain that happened in September of 2007. There's been a bunch of testimony in that. Would that be consistent with your memory?
Yes.
Let's assume for a moment that it was in September of 2007.
Sorry, I'm less. Yeah, yes.
Did he attend that distributorship convention with you?
Yes.
Did
we
he
went to Washington together. Sorry.
I just plowed over. Did he attend the one that counsel indicated that you may have attended and you think attended in 2008 in Salt Lake?
He did not.
Between 1993 and 2007, can you tell the jury kind of how your distributorship went? How was it?
Between 1993 and what's the date again?
2007, when you went to this convention.
I guess I don't understand exactly your question. Like how my distributorship went? What do you mean by that?
That would not be the first time someone didn't understand my question. My question is, if I were to put it, if you were to put over time, this is time, and this is the amount of money that you were earning. Can you tell us over time between 1993 and 2007 how your distributorship was faring?
Not so good.
Surprising. When you say not so good, was it dropping, going up? How would you describe, quote, not so good, end quote?
I would say people would enroll as fast as some of them would leave, so to speak.
Okay. So one was coming on board and leaving just as fast?
Yes. Yes.
That was a complaint company-wide with Young Living Fair?
I would say that was probably true.
So in 2003 up to 2007, you would work to get someone on board, and then that same year, the same number of people would leave?
I would say that's accurate.
No real growth in the company. Fair?
Mr. Straight says, object to form, foundation, the company or her business.
Mr. Smith said, her business, I'll rephrase. And the court says, thank you. No real growth in your business.
It was slow slogging.
There's a record that I'd like you to turn to. It's Exhibit 1133. Do you remember how much in commissions were paid to your organization during that time period between 2000 and let's say 2009?
Have to look at tax records.
Or maybe Young Living's records?
Yes.
As you sit here, you don't have a memory of that without looking at something. Is that fair?
That's true.
I'm going to show you 1133, produced by Young Living.
Mr. Straight said, Your Honor, we object to this document for the reasons we've already stated in your pretrial disclosures. Plus, this has a lot more information than anything related to Miss Herbert on it. And really quickly, sorry. Pretrial disclosures are like, sometimes there's agreements that are made between sides about what people are going to accept as fact. We talked about that in one of the earlier streams. There's like a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that are not done in front of the jury, so that there certain things come in, or they say like, yeah, we'll share this, but we won't share this part. And Mr. Straight is getting upset because apparently they've already talked about this. So sorry, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Smith says, I'm just going to have her look at Miss Herbert's to see if it refreshes her memory. And the court says you can do that. All right, there's a line there, 5 down from the top. It says Gordon Herbert on the first page. Do you see that? And then it's got time periods. I just want you to look at that one line. Do you see that one line?
Yes.
And to yourself, without telling anyone, look at that line and see if it refreshes the growth or lack of growth of your company, your business, your distributorship during this time period that I'm talking about.
Yes.
Is that accurate as best as you can see?
Yes, it appears so.
Your Honor, I would move 1133 and only the provision that deals with the Herbert line identified there. And I'll redact if necessary. I think we'll have more to come in over time, but I only want to put that one portion in at this time.
And the court said, any objection to redacting that page? Mr. Straight said, I'm not really sure how we do that. I'm not suggesting we do that right now.
Mr. Smith says, I'm not going to display it to the jury, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Straight said, then I don't have an objection to that one line. And then the court said, we'll get the redaction and submit that later. If you don't know what redaction means, it's blacking out, like highlighting with a color that completely erases information so it's not legible. You do that with social security numbers and telephone numbers and email addresses and stuff. But they're saying this is way, like, all the information coming in with this one document they want to submit, they're only wanting a few lines to come in. So I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I'm just, if you're not familiar with it, that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Straight said no objection to that.
And Mr. said, we'll fix it. The court says that's fine. Back to Mr. Smith. If I can, in 2005, 2 years before the convention, your commissions were about $29,900. Is that correct? Rounded?
Yes. Yes.
And then in 2006, a year before the convention, they had dropped to $25,900 for the year. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in 2007, the year of the convention, they had dropped to $23,700. Is that fair?
Yes.
And then in 2008, they had dropped to $16,500. Is that fair?
Yes.
Is it fair that at least from 2005 on, the amount of commissions that you were earning from your efforts in working the Young Living distributorship were dropping?
Yes.
And had you put a substantial time in trying to develop this Young Living distributorship between 2005 through 2007 when you went to this convention?
Yes, but there was also a point where I know at some point Young Living chose to take a leg, meaning part of our organization, and
take it away from you?
Take it away.
I'm going to come back to that. Your Honor, I've now had it redacted. May I display it to the jury, that one line?
The court said, I can see what you've got, and yes, Mr. Straight says, okay, back to Mr. Smith.
So it's just crazy how it's not crazy. It's wild how she was at like so much of the income that she was getting, and it consistently went down. Because typically, like for being, especially at that time, like a lot of times I feel like people will, like the people who get in early, they'll be able to maintain a pretty like significant amount of income. But even with her participating and being in at that time, that's still a significant reduction in income.
Oh, for sure. And she got in way early. So I think the Young Living, they were talking about opening it in 89, I think. And so they've been around for a very, very, very long time. And her signing up in 93, still early, still super early.
Mhm.
And why wouldn't she have been at the top of the pyramid for her stuff? It's just,
And making more
it's
and
interesting.
more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. Live
That
chat, what do
goes
y'all think?
against the ground floor opportunity
Oh, yep.
like recommendation that some of
Yep.
them encourage.
And we've also said ground floor opportunity or huge audience. We've seen some people like Casey Lee Essentials, Jessica Garvin, Brooke Kristen have huge design Instagram accounts, and they're also in Young Living, and there's crossover because of parasocial relationships, but they warm people up on their design accounts, and then they beautifully display their Young Living stuff, and then they sign them up. So there's some people who are, that is another way that people exploit their followings to push them into multi-level marketing as well. So it's twisty AF. That's all I'm gonna say. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I read from 2005 through 2008. You agreed to those numbers generally that were on the sheet, correct?
I lost my place. I'm sorry. Yes.
And before that, in 2000 to 2005, you saw some growth from the 10 up to growth from 10 up to a big amount in 2005. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in 2005, that was the first year after David Sterling had made the COO, had been made the COO of the company. Is that how it worked?
I'm not sure when Dave was made COO.
Why did it come up in 2005 as you recall? In other words, it's a pretty good bump between 2004 to 2005. Then you see the drop down again, the growth. But
Oops, I went the wrong way.
oh,
Right.
But then dropping again the other direction.
2005, yeah. I'm not really certain.
Okay, when did you in this?
I was working and, juggling a lot at that time.
When you say working, you meant working on your Young Living line?
Yeah, yes.
At some point in time, did you make a determination how much you were being paid per bottle for all the work you were doing?
Yeah, I actually said to my husband, quote, "Here, you take this," end quote.
Meaning the Young Living business?
Yeah,
When was that?
I don't recall exactly. He moved in 2005 and I got there in 2006, and it was really close to that time frame that I was tired of that. And it seemed to be a drain, a lot of drama, and I wasn't making a lot of money in it.
That's how I started this question. My question was, do you remember how much you were getting paid per bottle? And you just told us
$1.98. I don't know. It was not very much. It was a lot of work to explain how to use one bottle of oil.
And is that part of the reason why at the convention in 2007 you decided that you no longer wanted to build your organization?
That was a huge part. That it seemed to be I could make more money with less effort in other areas, in other businesses.
And how About how much in personal volume were you buying? In other words, this business dropped off. This is your entire organization commission we're showing you in Exhibit 1133 right now, correct?
Yes.
How much personal volume were you buying?
I think, I was buying a fair amount. But then once I got to 2007, maybe 8, 9, it was probably about the minimum to receive my commission check. So, in other words, but then you also have to take into an account also that things were tight. A lot of people were losing their homes. There was a lot of people that were going into bankruptcy, and I was just being very frugal with my dollars.
That was, I think your husband testified, correct me if I'm wrong, that was starting to be a tough time for you and your family in 2007 and 2008
Yes,
because of the change in the market.
yes.
I want to show you what's been marked as 1177. It may be in the same book. Nope, it's 1173. Thank you.
Mr. Straight said 73.
73. This is a document that's been bait stamped YL14522, and it purports to be your personal volume purchases for a period of time as shown on the document.
Okay.
Does that appear to you to be consistent with your memory? In other words, if you look on there in or about February of 2007, your personal volume starts to drop from what it was previously?
Yes.
Objection.
Go ahead.
Is that me still? No, that's Mr. Straight.
No, you're good. Mr. Straight said, objection, Your Honor. We just object to this document for the reasons we set forth before. It's irrelevant. It's been superseded by the subsequent production, and she has no foundation on this document. It's not a document Miss Herbert produced.
Mr. Smith says, well, I'll still lay a little more foundation. And the court says, go ahead. Back to Mr. Smith. Does it appear to accurately reflect the personal volume purchases you had in your distributorship from January 2006 through March of 2013?
Yes.
I'd move 1173 into evidence, Your Honor.
Mr. Straight said, same objections, Your Honor. No foundation, not established at all that she created this document or she even knows what it is. And the court said sustained, meaning that they don't get to submit the document. So we're back to Mr. Smith.
All right. You know what your personal volume is, correct?
Yes.
Did anyone in the world buy product under your name other than you?
No.
Your personal volume is your personal volume.
Yes.
And each month, Young Living would give you a little printout of what your personal volume was and what your check was.
Yes.
And you had to qualify to get your check, the commission checks. You had to qualify by buying at least a minimum amount of personal volume.
Yes.
And does this adequately reflect what your personal volume purchases were to the best of your memory?
Mr. Straight says, same objections, Your Honor. And the court said, I haven't had a motion yet. And Mr. Straight says, sorry. Back to Mr. Smith.
You can answer to the best of your memory.
To the best of my memory, yes. I recall that my personal volume dropped. I remember specifically those years very well.
Your Honor, this is an admission of Young Living. I would move 1173 into evidence.
Same objection, Your Honor. She's just testified that she has records of these of her own. If she had those or counsel had those, that would be a different story. These are not hers, nor has that been established. Same objection. Back to Mr. Smith.
That doesn't change the fact that she can identify those are her personal volumes. These are her personal volume.
Mr. Straight said, and she.
More than one source for that.
She hasn't been able to do that. She said she would need to look at her records.
She said she believes it perfectly reflects her purchases. The source of this is Young Living. It's admission of Young Living. I'm not certain what the objection is. Foundation?
The court said approach. Sidebar discussion was had. Back to Mr. Smith.
Okay. Exhibit 1173. if you display it, please. You have in front of you, ma'am, 1173 purports, I can never say that. Okay, purports to be personal volume. I want to focus just really at the top of that. Your testimony was before 2007. You bought more product and started buying less. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
And is this consistent with your recollection? That is, again, in 2006, you were buying about 327 a month in product. And then by January, more like February, it starts dropping to around 116. There's some outsiders that look like they're more, but is that kind of what happened on your personal volume?
Yes.
And then in February 2008, if we can go down in the 2008 time period. In February of 2008, it's at 115 personal volume. Again, there's some higher and lower, but you're pretty much consistently in that 120 range. Is that fair?
Yes.
Why is she buying that much every single month?
Oh, it's way more. It's way she's saying $300 for a month. I will tell you this on my team in Nesting Well. Probably $800 a month per wife and partner, because
that's not like team, that's personal.
That and that's just you and so you only need
that's
to
your
do
Ningxia, like double Ningxia.
Yep, but they do it because they used to do gift with purchases. So all of the silvers, golds, platinums, all the top people wanted to set a good example for their downlines and see, like, look how I'm outfitting my house with Young Living products. Ningxia, Zing, Nitro. Nitro is their energy drink. Zing is like their Red Bull. So like Nitro was like a little shot. And so they would mix a Zing, a Ningxia 2 ounces, a Nitro, fill it up with kombucha, put 2 drops of lime essential oil in it, drink it every single day. Every single day. And so they used to give out prizes, gifts with purchase. So if you hit 100, you get a prize. You hit 195, you get a prize. You hit 250, you get a prize. You hit 300, you hit 400. So they wanted the gift with each thing. So they do it twice. Once on theirs, once on their ghost account.
Young Living would give the prize.
Yeah, Young Living would give the prize.
What were the prizes?
Just oils.
Okay.
So like they would do like essential oil bottles. They would do oil bottle sizes that were not available to purchase. They would do supplements. They would do sometimes like diffuser gifts. Like there was like this stone thing that you can drop oils on and it will like scent your desk. But when big teams were pushing for rank, they would say like, oh, if you get 400 this month, or if you buy $400 of product this month, we'll give you a sweatshirt. Or if you recruit like 5 people this month, we'll give you this, or whatever it is. And so it's like, it's so twisty because you think, well, if you can't afford it, you're just not going to buy it. But you get wrapped up in this stuff.
Oh yeah.
You totally get wrapped up in it.
Find a way to make it work.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah. Even like I just think about how many other ways that money, like even if they have that disposable income to spend monthly in the several $100 range, like how much that would be better.
Oh, for sure.
In a different way.
But they also think that if my upline, my Royal Crown Diamond, sees that I'm consistently making big orders, then I'm probably going to get stacked into as well, because they know I'm committed to defending the team, to investing in the team. It's twisty AF. And if you're listening to this and you think like, I can't even imagine being in that mindset, that's fine if you can't imagine it. People are there. People are still stuck in it. Not just in Young Living, in other multi-level marketing companies. And we see this in evidence here. They're looking at actual printouts from Young Living about what this lady ordered, and they're showing how much she individually was ordering every month. Almost $400 worth of product. Just freaking wild.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. All right.
Okay. Tell the jury why your personal volume dropped that much before doTERRA was ever formed. Do you remember?
And then Mr. Straight said objection, mischaracterizes the evidence, and the court said overruled, so the witness get to answer.
So
let me just rephrase. When did you first start buying product that was doTERRA product, if ever?
I don't recall.
If the pre-launch was on April 25th, 2008, but you didn't buy any product before 2008?
I'm not certain.
That was confusing. Okay, let me see if I can refresh your memory. A moment ago, you said Justin Harrison had to bring down some samples in March of 2008.
Yes.
You weren't buying product in March of 2008, right?
No.
You only had sample vials?
Yes.
And in April, you were buying doTERRA oils. Were you buying doTERRA oils yet?
In April? I don't know when my husband sent in his membership, but he had sent in his membership. We did get some oil. Oh, but when he sent in his membership, we did get some oils with that.
Let's look at Exhibit 61 for a moment. You bring up the membership. Let's deviate for 1 second to that would be in the little folder, I think. It's down here. It's one of these. Exhibit 61 is your husband's application. And you didn't sign this application, right?
No.
You did not become a doTERRA distributor, correct?
Correct.
And it stated up there, counsel pointed out to you, it stated sometime on April 17th, 2008.
Right.
So you would have started to buy oils after that date at some point. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So if we can go back to exhibit number 1173, which is the volume you were buying at Young Living, it shows in April of 2008, you bought almost $259 of product from Young Living. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And then after that date, it looks like your personal volume stays pretty much the same as it was before. Is that correct? Is that accurate?
Yes.
Did doTERRA's formulation have anything to do with your big personal volume at Young Living?
No.
Did you continue to buy the same amount of personal volume at Young Living until they called you in 2013 and said you were terminated?
Yes, I bought the same amount pretty much, yes.
20 years later, they call. Wait, where am I? Okay, now when you were terminated in 2013, you started in 1993?
Yes.
20 years later, they call you and they were kind enough to leave a message on your phone. Is that correct?
Yes.
They never returned your phone calls?
Sorry. Never.
They took your business.
Yes.
That is just so crazy. The fact that you can work as a distributor for a company for 20 years and then them call you, leave a message and say like, bye, you're terminated.
Oh, yeah, and the wild thing is they don't want her contaminating any of the other people who are still happy and excited about Young Living. And there's another comment about how, like, why are they so forceful? Why are the uplines like this? It's different than saying you better order this right now. It's not like that. Imagine someone very popular, or they have lots of things that maybe you admire and maybe they're nice to you occasionally. And the more things that you do, like buy into their downline or whatever, the more attention you get. So it's not just like someone desperate for attention. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm positively contributing to something and I'm helping someone else reach their goals. And I see that they help others. It feels good. And so it's just, we're trying to talk about that a little bit on my channel, like undue influence and how that kind of seeps in and really like messes with your mind. And Kat and I haven't asked her this yet, but there's a lady who thinks her Young Living oils are possessed that hopefully Kat and I can do a stream on. Because it's, that whole mindset is, it's twisty to look at. So
I mean, I can relate, not to relate to that, but what you're saying right before that, with mine, because it was a dietitian who had invited me to learn more about the opportunity. And when I was kind of in that decision phase, there were so many other health professionals who were like in the calls as well. medical doctors, registered nurses, pharmacists, other dietitians. And so, like, yeah, you just want to be part, I guess. And yeah, and I was brand new too, so I was still really young.
It's influential.
Mhm.
And that's why, like, Kat and I talk about this. I know other people too, but when you have someone with a medical background or someone who has additional academic, like, letters, like they have a master's, they have a PhD, or they're a registered dietitian, and you see other people with those, like, MDs or those RNs, and they're selling a multi-level marketing product, you think that it is a safe place to be, because why would medical professionals try to steer you wrong? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and so it's twisty. And if y'all don't know, Aaron and Julie Joe are going to be doing a stream this afternoon. And if Kat and I'm going to try to feed into their stream if we go that long, but we may end up early, but I will make sure to post it on
What time is it at?
It's going to be at 4. So I think we'll be done before then.
Oh, yeah, because you said you needed to make this one a little shorter, right?
Yeah, I just didn't want to run into their stream. So if I know we normally do like an hour and a half or something. So I was like, I'm scared. So. And like Kat has like humans to keep alive, so I'm just like, I know I'm like a little bit of a free spirit over here. That's like, you know, I've got my dog, so he's fully functional. So it's just yeah.
But puppies are, if you have a puppy though,
his little medical issues has been interesting recently, but it's not it's absolutely not the same. So okay, here we go.
Still matters. Okay. Okay, they sued Mr. Harrison for your business. Do you know that?
No, I did not. They sued?
There's no question. There was some discussion in your examination about a Levon Birch. And I know both sides talked about it, and Spencer. I don't know if that's a first name or last name.
First.
These two people, did you have anything to do with having them move from Young Living over to doTERRA?
No.
And they were how many layers down? Layers instead of levels. And there are how many layers down in your doTERRA line or your husband's line?
Actually, he worked at Young Living and Levon worked at Young Living, so they were not in my downline.
When you say worked, they were employees?
They were employees.
Oh, I didn't think that was a question he asked. He asked you which distributors at Young Living worked at Young Living, went over to doTERRA. There are no distributors in your downline that you know of that were distributors at Young Living that went over to doTERRA?
My brother.
Your brother. Any others?
And Joan Smith.
Joan Smith. Maybe I misunderstood his question.
Mr. Straight said you just asked it wrong. You got the names confused.
Did I do it wrong?
Oh my god. Mr. Straight is not here. Mr. Straight is like losing his shit in this courtroom. I cannot.
Mr. Smith says, "Did I do it wrong?"
Yeah, said Mr. Straight.
And the witness said, and then Nancy Rodriguez.
So there are a couple of names of distributors at Young Living that are now distributors over at doTERRA side?
Yes.
And how long was it before? We already talked about Greg Anderson. He came to your house on or about April 6th and tasted the frankincense. Hoping it says tested, not tasted.
Yes. Oh my god.
We'll see and hear from him. Did he indicate at that time he came by your home and that he wanted to be involved in doTERRA when he tasted that? Why?
Oh my god.
Frankincense. Why are you tasting any oils other than like vanilla?
Yeah.
Like non-essential oils, but
yes.
Extract.
So he wanted the oils. I don't know if that is, quote, involved, end quote, but he wanted the oils.
Do you remember what the words he said were? He said, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I read the comment about Carol with the K. We heard a little bit about Carol last time. It was just in passing though, but yeah, we haven't seen Carol with the K for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what the words were he said?
Quote, I want these oils, end quote.
And then Mr. Straight
Olive oil,
said,
yes.
objection, calls for hearsay. And the court said, sustained. And I'm back to me.
Something like, quote, I want these oils.
And then Mr. Straight said, move to strike that because the judge sustained it. So me, the witness, should have kept their mouth shut. I'm sorry. I had to go back. I lost my spot. Oh my God. I'm way back. Sorry. Your brother. Yes. Okay. And so move to strike. The court struck it from the record because I wasn't supposed to answer, and we're back to Mr. Smith.
Okay. Yes. Lick the olive oil. Lick the avocado oil. Not the frankincense oil. Your impression after he made some statement was that he wanted the oils on a consistent basis. Is that correct?
As far as I recall, he wanted the oils. Yes.
And when he made the statement, was it immediately after he touched the frankincense, put it in his mouth?
As far as I recall, yes, he wanted the oils.
Your Honor, I mean, I don't know. I was going to say it's better than like the oil enemas, but no, because it can still really not be better. And it's just not at all.
Yeah.
When you were in Young Living, is frankincense one of the ones that they would encourage people to put in their mouth?
Yep.
Well, okay, let me explain this. I'm about to make Cat twitch. Okay. They sell these vegetable capsules that you're supposed to put the oils in, and people would put between 15 and 20 drops of essential oils in those capsules. If you don't know, essential oils are highly concentrated.
That's gonna like eat up their digestive.
Oh, for sure. And guess who has supplements for digestive stuff? Young Living. They allegedly create the problem and solve the problem. So while the essential oils, and this is my opinion, am I also being a little snarky, are eating up their stomach and their intestines, they're also having supplements because people are in digestive distress. So it's just wild. It's wild. So yeah,
that sounds
frankincense,
so
thieves, the thieves essential oil, tons of people take it. There's a digestive, what is it called?
Digize?
Digize one. Yep. They take Digize, peppermint. They'll do peppermint drops.
It's very strong.
Oh yeah. I literally gagged earlier. You said tasted, but it seems to get worse. I'm just listening because I'm trying to finally unpack after 10 years. Oh my God. And so when we
have a lawyer cat here
we do. Yes, an amazing
audience.
lawyer cat. Yes. When we say that we were encouraged to take them internally, it is far and above worse than what you think. You think like, oh, it'll be one drop. No, people are filling these things up, these little capsules up. Can you imagine 20 drops of an oil in a capsule? It's wild.
That's how they go through all of the bottles so much for decoration.
Yep. Just it's awful. It's awful. Okay. I don't know where I was.
Your impression after he made some statement was that he wanted the oils on a consistent basis. Oh, we already said that. Okay. And when he made that statement, was it immediately after he touched the frankincense, put it in his mouth?
As far as I recall, yes, he wanted the oils.
Your Honor, I'd ask that to be admitted as an excited utterance.
Mr. Straight said, objection, Your Honor. It's not an excited utterance. And maybe Bam, the lawyer cat, can explain that because I don't know what an excited utterance is. But the court said I will allow it under that exception.
I'm definitely far from being a law expert. When I see that, I hear like utter and I think of like a cow or something.
Oh my gosh.
Different, but still. Where's Bam? We need Bam, the lawyer cat. Okay. What did he say? What were the words he said? You said a moment ago, but they kind of got stricken, so you have to say it.
Quote, I want these oils, end quote.
Do you know if he sent back an application form to your husband so he could become a distributor?
I have no idea.
You didn't play any role in that?
Did not.
So tell the jury how it worked in your home. Your husband is interested in doTERRA. Were you interested in doTERRA or not between 2008 when your husband decides to join?
I'm just going to take a quick break for a second. It's an exception to hearsay, meaning, let's say I'm testifying in court, I'm a witness, and I'm saying, Kat told me that she went to the grocery store and then she said that I'm going to unalive this person. That's not able to come in because I can't tell you what Kat said. That's hearsay. I can only tell you my stuff that relates to me, basically. And so Wendy's saying that
That is
the
such like
utterance.
an intense example.
I'm just an extreme kind of person.
I was not expecting that.
And so Bam is saying that
Never said
that the utterance is an exception to the hearsay because she shouldn't have been able to say it because she's repeating what her brother said. The witness, me, Baby Snark, should not have been able. Sorry, I'm ruining my live stream.
You're frozen.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
So I think that's what Wendy was trying to say. Okay. Basically means that he says in a manner that there usually really no thought it to it. Usually an excited utterance is something someone yells while like in distress or emergency. Okay.
That makes complete sense. Yeah. Okay. Excited.
Yep.
You're uttering something. Yeah.
Coco Nut said, I use an oil diffuser at night. If I put more than 3 to 4 drops of oil in it, there will be a gross residue the next morning. Imagine what is happening inside of the bodies of these people.
Oh,
it's awful. Okay.
I liked their oils, so if that's interested in the oils, yes, but I wasn't interested in the business because I was so busy with, these other businesses. And I was holding on to what was called an equity share ownership in another company. And so it just, I just couldn't see spreading myself any thinner than I already was spread.
Did your husband ever make any efforts that you could see to take a single distributor out of the Young Living downline you had and move it over to his doTERRA downline?
No, we had an agreement.
What kind of agreement?
Just move forward with doTERRA and leave Young Living separate and just keep them separate, so...
In August of 2008, did someone from Young Living call you and question what your relationship would be with Young Living because of your husband's relationship with doTERRA? Did someone call you?
Did someone call me? From where?
From Young Living. In or about August of 2008, did someone from Young Living call you?
Yes.
And talk to you about your continued relationship with Young Living?
Yes.
Because of your husband's relationship with doTERRA?
Yes, there was.
Who was it that called you?
Wade is his name.
Wade Winiger, the attorney?
Yes.
What did he... I'm sorry. Usually when I hear a name, like I'll think of someone else in Wade that reminds me. I think that was a kid in Kim Possible, right? Do you watch that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Completely not related. Okay. What did he ask you?
He was asking all sorts of questions, like what was my feelings about what was taking place? What was my husband? What he thought of? What his feelings were? I said to him,
I didn't ask what you said yet.
Are
all the questions what Mr. Winiger asked you?
All the questions?
You just testified. You just gave a list. Is that all the questions he asked you?
As far as I know.
And you responded to his questions?
Yes.
And did you tell him substantially what you've already told this jury?
Yes.
Did you continue to be a Young Living distributor after you spoke to Wade Winiger?
Yes.
At that time, your husband was involved in doTERRA. When he was doing his new business, did he take a single distributor, Justin Harrison, Lil Shepherd? Did anyone take a single distributor out of your line and move it over to doTERRA?
Mr. Straight said objection, foundation.
That you know of?
The court said overruled, so Mr. Straight's objection, Mr. Smith gets to keep asking and I get to answer. So,
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And you would likely know if you lost a Young Living distributor to doTERRA, correct?
Yes.
Because you kept track of your genealogy?
And I knew.
Just yes or no?
Yes.
How do you do that? How do you keep track of your genealogy?
There was a printout.
And you'd look at it?
Periodically,
And what would that show you?
It would show who is buying, who is purchasing, and who was in my organization.
And from time to time, even though you weren't building that, you would still call your downline to see if they were buying product, qualifying for personal volume, anything like that?
Most of the time, they called me at that point in 2007 through 8. Like I said, I was working with these other companies, and so my focus was to continue to move forward with that. And so they were pretty self-sufficient, self-reliant. They had been to many classes I had taught.
She's giving him back the same.
I hope so. I hope she did in real life.
Same attitude. So I put kind of a line there on the timeline how your organizational volume was. It peaked up in 2005 and dropped again. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Do you have any reasonable expectation to think that your business would have gone like that, a hockey stick?
Mr. Straight said objection, Your Honor.
Any expectation your business would have done that?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for expert testimony, foundation. The court says sustained, so that means me, the witness, doesn't get to answer that question.
When in 2013, we only have the chart here through 2008, but isn't it true through 2013 that your business continued to drop for the next 5 years?
Yes.
And when you became a Young Living distributor, did you have a right as far as you understood to either build your line or not build your line?
Yes.
And when you decided to stop building your line, was it in 2005 or was it in 2007 or kind of a continual process?
It was kind of a continual, but I think it was more when I moved down to St. George. I was actually just really tired of teaching essential oils.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry it took extra time.
Court said it's all right.
And lunchtime.
Okay, we'll skip this. Lunch break. The court's back. You may be seated. Counsel present.
Now we're at Mr. Gaylord.
Yep. Oh, okay. Wait, so is he done? Is Mr. Smith done? Is he
Let me look at the
Mr. Smith.
We're on 1325. Is that it?
I'm on 1309.
1309.
That's for lunch break, and then 1310.
1311. Mr. Straight comes back.
Okay, gotcha. So the redirect.
Mr. Straight.
Okay, the redirect examination. Okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry. So I guess I'm still baby snark. Right? So we're starting at the redirect.
Yeah, now we're doing the redirect by Mr. Straight.
Yeah, and we're just skipping over this because it's lunch and it's like redoing stuff and it's not pertinent to. You can pause this and take a read if you want to. Okay. All right.
This one goes until it's like 14 pages and then it's a recross by Mr. Gaylord.
Is that okay to keep reading? Do you have enough time or okay. I'm good. All right.
Okay, so redirect by Mr. Straight.
Yep.
Miss Herbert, I wanted to follow up on a few of the things that other lawyers talked to you about, okay?
Uh-huh.
During that time that you were a Young Living distributor, what did you do to promote the benefits of essential oils?
So I taught a lot of classes. I taught at wellness festivals. I taught for District 91. I taught for Evotech College. I taught for Center of Massage Therapy. I taught for Jackson, Wyoming Community College. I was continuing education. I taught for St. Anthony Continuing Education. Oh, I missed some. I taught for ISU. I taught for Rick's College. It was continuing education. I taught for St. Anthony Continuing Education.
When you say you taught classes, what did you mean by that? What would you do?
I was under contract with these different places to teach aromatherapy. I was never actually able to say Young Living per se. I wasn't allowed to sell or any of that kind of thing. But I was allowed to teach the benefits of essential oils. And if they wanted further information regarding essential oils, then I had an assistant. They could contact my assistant and or me after the class. Oops, I just skipped the pages, sorry.
What is your education to teach that? Like,
I don't,
oh no, what happened?
No, it's me. I'm trying to get back. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I accidentally skipped the pages, and I was trying to get back to what were we on? 12? I'm way past. 12.
25. 13, 25?
Okay, I'm way past. My mouse, like, slid, so sorry about that. 13, 25. We're good. Oh. Recross. Hold on.
Were we there?
No, we weren't at the recross yet.
Oh, 13, 11? 13, 11.
Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties. It's my fault. Oh, okay, we're back.
Okay. So I appreciate, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is? Okay. So I appreciate that testimony. Let's set aside those classes where you weren't really allowed to talk about Young Living essential oils or sell them. Did you also have classes or any other kind of meetings where you would actually tell people about Young Living essential oils and try to promote them?
Most of my classes specifically were like that. However, I had a few in my home that I invited people over. Then I talked about Young Living specifically.
What would you say to sell Young Living in those classes in your home?
Kind of the typical, I would let them sample them out, ask if anyone had an issue of any sort, then allow them to experience the oils.
When you say ask them if they had an issue of any sort, what do you mean by that?
Like if they had a headache or something like that, something like that, of that nature.
A headache. That's as far as she went.
Yeah, we're not talking about allergic reactions, apparently.
Or like other conditions, diabetes.
Yeah.
Yep. What would you then suggest specific kinds of oils that would help treat that issue that had been identified?
I would talk to them about the benefits of each oil in particular. So, like, for instance, lavender was good to help relax and calm. Peppermint was invigorating. Those kinds of things.
Any of those essential oils have antibacterial properties?
Oh my God. Mr. Smith said objection exceeds the scope of the cross, Your Honor. The court said overruled. Now, really quickly, Bam can probably, I don't want to make Bam work on her weekend off. Basically, like when you're in this part, they can only not rebut, but address things that were brought up by like in the actual conversation. I don't think they can introduce new things at this point. And that's the whole dance of the cross and the direct and stuff like that. So that's why they're saying exceeds the scope of the cross-examination. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but they can't ask about certain things if it was not already brought up by the other lawyer. So, okay, sorry, I'm back.
The Young Living, that assistant was probably in her downline.
Yes. So the court said overruled, so that means the witness gets to answer.
I don't know that for sure, though.
I bet it was. So we were taught in Young Living that we could say words such as We could say words such as antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antitumoral, and then those were common. That was a common lingo amongst not only distributors, but also among Gary himself. Holy shit.
Okay, she didn't say holy shit. Oh my god. I did it again. Shoot. Why did I do this?
no.
Sorry. Oh my god. We were 1311, down, then down again. Gary himself. I'm taking a screenshot
There it
because
is.
oh my god. Okay, I'm just taking a So we were taught
Okay,
in
I was
living.
like, let me not do a weird face for your screenshot.
Oh my god.
They were taught that they could say those words.
Antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antitumoral. Oh my god. Wow.
I'm really concerned about the anti-tumor. I mean, all of them, but like the tumoral one.
Oh yeah, it's big. It's big in Young Living. And I should just send you my essential oils Bible I have because you would lose your mind of some of the stuff they say that it can tumors.
Because sometimes they would like see that in like a test tube kind of thing. Yeah, and you can't always extract that to. Yeah,
It's
in
wild.
vitro and vivo, like there's differences. So
Yep. And it's wild. And so then Mr. Straight said, oh wait, you're Mr. Straight. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be quiet.
I'm not Mr. Straight. I'm here. Okay. In your working with your husband in doTERRA, in his doTERRA business, what kind of things did you teach about essential oils?
Mr. Gaylord said objection to time or object to time. And the court said, I'm sorry. Mr. Gaylord said time and relevance foundation. And the court said response.
She's already testified that she's worked with her husband in his doTERRA business, and relevance is to how they were selling the oils in that business.
So the court said the objection's overruled, which means me, baby snark witness, gets to answer.
So it varied, you know. A lot of times he'd be traveling and that kind of thing, so he'd be the one teaching or whatever. I did phone consultations a lot of times with people, so, you know, helping them maybe pick which oils they'd like or which kit or something.
And during those phone consultations or with those trainings, were you actually with your husband for doTERRA? Did you teach similar principles that you did while you were at Young Living?
It was the culture in Young Living was quite a bit different than the doTERRA culture.
My question really didn't have anything to do with culture. It was, did you teach similar principles in connection with doTERRA that you did with Young Living?
The benefits of essential oils, yes.
You also talked a little bit with counsel about events and classes that Justin Harrison did where you and some of your Young Living team attended. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
You also mentioned some phone calls that would happen from Young Living and you could get on those calls. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
Did Justin Harrison do any of those kinds of Young Living phone calls that you participated in? No. During that time you were a Young Living distributor?
I don't recall him doing the phone calls, no.
Does Justin Harrison, since he started with doTERRA, done similar kinds of support and trainings for members of your husband's doTERRA downline that he did at Young Living?
I don't know that I understood your question exactly.
Okay, I think you testified that Justin Harrison, while he was at Young Living, he was good about explaining the compensation plan. He was good at motivating people. Do you remember that testimony?
Uh-huh.
So my question is now, with the doTERRA downline that you've been working with, has Justin Harrison come and helped you with that doTERRA downline as well?
Mr. Gaylord said objection relevance. Mr. Smith said objection. Now I know people are coming in late. I don't want to take another. I'm trying to explain this because if you don't know, there's two law firms representing two sets of defendants, and then there's one firm representing Young Living, and so that's why you're seeing two lawyers object right now. They're obviously separate people, but they're representing separate groups of defendants. And so that's why I don't know if that matters to people, but I get confused when I read stuff, so I wanted to explain it. So Mr. Gaylord said objection to relevance. Mr. Smith said objection. The court asks Mr. Straight, Cat, what's the relevance?
Okay, Mr. Straight says relevance is again what they're doing to their doTERRA business and how that relates to the transition from Young Living.
Mr. Smith said relevance to time, and the court said sustained.
Let me ask it this way. In 2008, okay, did Justin Harrison do anything to help support the team that your husband and you were helping him to develop at doTERRA?
Mr. Smith said objection lacks a lack of foundation. The court overruled the objection, so Baby Snark gets the answer.
Justin was teaching. And so at these events, some of our team could have attended those events and benefited. So that would be yes.
Now, do you remember what you talked about in the 2007 Young Living Convention? Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
In Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
And I think your testimony was after that convention. You did not say goodbye to Gary or Mary Young. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
After the 2008 Young Living Convention in June in Salt Lake City, did you say goodbye to Gary and Mary Young after that convention?
No.
The shade. Did you talk to Gary and Mary at all during that convention?
No.
You testified, I think, that you had some concerns about Young Living oils. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
All that had been said for so many years, of course.
But from 2007, you continued to use Young Living oils, true?
That was diminishing.
My question was a very simple one. From 2007, you continued to use Young Living oils, true?
Yes.
And you continued to accept commission checks from Young Living after that time, true?
Yes.
Now, you testified a little bit about some of these other opportunities that you were involved with in 2007 to 2008. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
You talked about HTE and some kind of machine that HTE sells. Do you remember that testimony?
HTE sells a lot of machines.
Okay. Tell me the machines that you were interested in from HTE in the 2007, 2008 timeframe.
Mr. Smith said objection, relevance. The court is asking what's the relevance, and Mr. Straight, aka Cat, gets the answer.
They spent quite a bit of time in their cross-examination talking about these issues. And I think I'm allowed to follow up.
The court said, I'll allow it. So Baby Snark gets to answer.
So they had the infrared, the Chi machine, the Silky Bed, and the E-Power machine. Those are the machines specific that I was interested in and shared.
And what's an infrared machine?
Mr. Smith said objection, relevant. The court said sustained, and back to Mr. Straight.
I think you testified also something called a hothouse?
Yes.
Is that an HTE product?
Yes.
What is that?
Mr. Smith said objection, relevance. The court said sustained.
Your Honor, she did mention it in the cross-examination. They elicited it from her. I think we're allowed to find out what it is.
And the court said, I'll allow you one question. And then Mr. Smith said they only mentioned the E-Power machine. And the court said, I remember the hothouse reference. I'll allow one question. Go ahead.
What is a hothouse machine?
It's infrared. Like you have infrared saunas. It's infrared.
And then on this E-Power machine, what's the purpose of an E-Power machine?
Mr. Smith said objection, relevance. The court said you have one question. And then
the witness, me, Baby Snark, many purposes, but one of the main purposes, it helps balance the sodium potassium ratios in the body. That's one of the main.
Because they're sweating.
Kat and I are gonna have to do a stream on this because I found the company and the machines are wild and they're still in business.
They're still in business.
Yes, it's wild. It's wild.
Like I like sitting in like heat. Like I just like heat on me. Sometimes I like really cold, but like yeah. Okay. Are you still selling the e-power machines today?
Yes. Oh.
Objection. Mr. Smith said objection. Irrelevant, Your Honor. The court said sustained. Mr. Smith said move to strike. The court said stricken.
Did you ever sell hothouse machines?
Mr. Smith said objection. Irrelevant, Your Honor. And the court said sustained.
Okay. You testified that. So, okay, sorry. My brain always like goes off on different tangents in my head and then I have to refocus. But do you remember the Lawrence brothers?
Yes.
From like Disney Channel and stuff?
Yep.
It's a huge fan of them growing up and everything. But they have a podcast now. And Matt, the middle one, has kind of like, he's just kind of gone a little bit like out there as far as like some nutrition claims and things like that. I'm actually, yesterday I was working on a script from one of their episodes that I was just going to kind of break down what Matt was saying.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And be like, I'm a fan of y'all, but like Matt, some of the stuff you're saying is a little bit concerning. Like he was talking about like GMOs and like natural flavors and things like that, and like kind of fear mongering and all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, and Andy was just being hilarious because he would like throw out these one-liners and like just you could tell he was not in the same, like he didn't support that. Like,
yes.
And he was like, Matt, like what? It was so funny. But then Joey was talking about how like you can, for like 10 minutes before the sun goes down, you can like stare at the sun and it'll give you vitamins.
Wait, without eye protection on? You're just going to stare at the sun?
The last like 10 minutes of the day before the sun goes down, it won't harm your eyes.
Oh.
And at this point,
true?
Like, Andy is just cracking up and like...
I know, this is why I'm susceptible. I'm so susceptible to this shit because I'm just like, is that true? And Kat's like, no, I don't know. It's just like wild. I'm just like, oh my God, what?
Yeah. And like, I already downloaded it and stuff and I'm going to like put in some of the faces that Andy makes because it's just hilarious. But so Joey was talking about how like you can get nutrients, like lots of, like beyond vitamin D, and that like activation from the skin and stuff, but from the sun, but like just multiple like nutrients from staring into the sun.
Oh my God. You know someone I want you to cover?
Who?
You know who Flav City is?
Flame City.
FLAVCITY. He has like 1 million followers on Instagram, but he does these grocery store infiltrations where he'll go and like scared the shit out of people by reading the nutrition labels and stuff.
I think I've seen him on TikTok.
Oh my gosh, it's a deep dive, but he has 1 million followers on Instagram and he is all about like the misinformation. Like he's shilling like he has an app where he'll tell you what foods are safe to eat, but he like demonizes so many ingredients that are like shouldn't. Yeah, Bobby. His name is Bobby, and he lives in. I don't know. I'll send you some info on it because I was like, I would love.
I've seen the Food Science Babe.
Oh yeah.
Wet him.
Yeah.
Or stitch him.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
But I'd love for Kat to slap people with science. It's just a whole good moment.
Yeah.
Oh no, you follow him? Sorry, no shade to people. I just that when you scare people about ingredients and then when you actually talk to registered dietitians about food scientists about stuff and they're like, what is he talking about? Yeah, he has a Bobby approved app.
Oh no.
Where he'll give you like a positive, like you should eat this. So he has it for Costco and for all these different grocery stores. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
And then something else Matt was saying was about like the ingestion of like placenta and stuff. And I know a lot of people do that and everything, but that is not evidence-based.
Yeah.
So like, I'm making that video.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure live chat's going to be stoked to watch it when you publish it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Other Me, that was one of the best movies. Disney
yes.
Channel.
Yep. All right.
Okay. So,
Am I on the
okay.
wrong page?
You tested. Oh,
No.
did you ever sell hothouse machines?
Mr. Smith said objection, irrelevant. The court said sustained. Back to Mr. Straight.
Okay. And that was really low. I said, hey, Karina, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know. I was like super
Hey,
low.
Karina.
You testified that.
I
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going.
Do you know where we were?
Oh, yep. Mentioned phone calls. Hot house.
Oh, 21. 1321.
Sorry. Oh, I'm not going to touch my mouse again. Okay.
You testified that you were some kind of emerald something in this Wayora company.
Yes.
Is an emerald like a rank in MLM marketing? MLM marketing. Multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Are you still involved in Wayora today?
Mr. Smith said objection, irrelevant, Your Honor. And the court said, I'll allow that one. Go ahead.
Did you get the question?
Yes.
You're still involved today?
Mr. Smith said objection, irrelevant, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
What is that?
Mr. Smith said objection, relevance. The court said sustained.
Your Honor, she did mention it in the cross-examination. They elicited it from her. I think we're allowed to find out what that is. Did we go back?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
Oh, the e-power machine? Maybe we did go back. HTE. I'm sorry. HTE sells a lot of machines. You're right.
Okay.
Wait,
I was like,
God,
this sounds really familiar.
we did. Oh my God. I'm pressing the wrong key. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties, chat. It's just Emerald, like a rank in MLM marketing. And then we went to I think he was just making sure that we got it on the record. So that's fine. Go ahead. And then, is that right? Is that where we're at?
So I can respond?
Yes, you can answer.
Okay. So I purchased product to receive a check. Yes.
Then there was one other you mentioned, and I didn't understand what it was. Was it called an AO scanner?
Uh-huh.
Is that from Wayora?
No.
It's from a different company?
Different than Wayora?
Yes.
Wayora didn't have machines.
Who sold the AO scanner?
It is a totally different company than anything that's been mentioned.
What's it called?
Energy.
And are you still selling AO scanners today?
Mr. Smith said objection, irrelevant. And then the court said sustained.
What does an AO scanner do?
Mr. Smith said objection, irrelevant. The court said sustained.
During your time at Young Living, there has been testimony in this trial that Gina Truman was something called a distributor trainer. Were you aware of that?
In Young Living?
Yes.
No.
Mr. Smith said objection, lack of. Well, the answer is no, Your Honor. What?
The witness said no.
Okay, wait. So, we just skipped over that AO scanner. That's the thing. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel, but where you hold it and it tells you what essential oils you need.
Yep.
And they say it's safe to use, on babies too.
Yep.
They're stupid expensive. They range between $700 and $1,500. They're like the iTovi. You have to and they are big on this. You have these parties where you're selling these essential oils, and then they'll tell you it'll tell you what essential oils you need
by your frequency.
By your fucking frequency. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I just cannot. Oh my God.
There's nothing that you can hold that's gonna tell you what essential oil you need.
They believe it. There's a whole section in the Essential Oils Bible where they're talking about the frequency of everything. They talk about your frequency when you're healthy. Your They said they've tested frequency on big C patients, so CANCER. They've tested frequency on canned vegetables, which is why they shame people who eat stuff out of cans, because it lowers the frequency of the vegetable. And their whole logical premise is, if you're sick, you have a lower frequency, so you need to raise it. And so then you would need to raise it with a super powerful essential oil. And rose is the most that has the highest frequency of all the essential oils. And so then they're like, you need this one. Rose for a small bottle is like $300 or $400.
200, yeah.
Oh, 200. It's like
no,
300
no.
bucks.
I was just like throwing that out there.
Yeah,
like,
it's stupid expensive. It's wildly expensive.
Hey, Savannah.
Oh my God.
Oh
and
my
so
goodness.
it's just like, if you go through that frequency and you're thinking like, this is wild. And they also believe that microwaves lower the frequency of all foods. And that's what's making you sick.
Oh yeah. I used to know so many people who did not in MLM who were so against microwaves.
I did not have a microwave for the first 5 years of our marriage.
No.
I know.
What?
Wild.
How did you survive?
Oh no, we heated up everything in the oven
so
on the
It
stove.
saves so much time. Like,
I know they do. But I believed it. I believed like all this stuff. I'm literally, if you're looking for target market of like people who believe this stuff, it's me.
No.
And when I say like I get it, I tell you I get it because I was there. So I know. I sound wild.
No, that's hilarious. And just even from like the convenience side of things. So like it is just one of the best inventions.
Yes, so we have an air fryer and we have a microwave now, so life is better
convection
with a microwave.
Yeah,
you can heat up food a lot faster, I will tell you that.
yeah, and I mean I like the convection air fryer for like crispiness. Like you're not going to get the same outcome of some foods versus what you would get in a microwave and stuff. But,
sure, yep, for sure.
Okay, back to this.
Okay.
High vibrational food, all the vibrations.
Yep.
Okay. Where am I? During that time. Okay, Gina Truman was a distributor trainer. Do you know Susie Bagwell?
I do.
There's been testimony also in this trial that Susie Bagwell was a distributor trainer at Young Living. Were you aware of that?
No.
Now, Mr. Smith spent quite a bit of time talking with you about numbers and your personal volume, your commission checks. Do you remember all that?
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Yes.
Would you agree that the records, the documents that show those numbers, will be the best source of information for what those numbers actually are?
I would say that, or income tax,
You talked about an issue with, I think, Young Living of distributors starting and then stopping. Do you remember that testimony?
Uh-huh.
And that a problem common to multi-level marketing companies in your experience?
I think it depends on the foundation of the company.
No. So basically, if you just came in, she was talking earlier about how whenever people would join, the equal amount of people would end up leaving. And it was just like this constant turnover, which is across the board in companies.
Yep.
Okay. So you've seen other MLMs where people start and then stop quickly?
Yes.
Now, the last thing I was going to ask you about Mr. Smith talked to you about a phone call with a lawyer at Young Living named Wade Winiger sometime in August of 2008.
Yes.
Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
Did you tell Wade Winiger that you had decided at that time to stop working your Young Living business?
No.
Did you tell Wade Winiger at that time you were helping your husband with his doTERRA business?
No.
No further questions. Thank you.
Okay.
That was a pretty, from when we started and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have a pacemaker, or your heart, I think you're good with a microwave. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Because the next one is Recross by Gaylord.
Okay. How many pages is that?
Oh, 2 pages.
Oh, you want to do that?
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
All right. Okay. Let's go.
Following up the last line of questions with Mr. Smith, you didn't have any obligation to tell Mr. Wade that you were going to stop running your business at Young Living?
Yes, I had no reason to tell him anything regarding that. That's my personal business.
And you were asked by Mr. Straight some classes that Mr. Harrison may have taught at events where your team may have attended. Can you identify any events that Mr. Harrison spoke at in which your team attended while at doTERRA?
In 2000 what?
2008, 2009, 2010?
I'm not really certain.
Okay, and those team members, they were already doTERRA distributors, were they not?
I'm sure they were.
I want to follow up on a line of questioning that Mr. Smith asked you and ask you to follow up on that. You did not stop building your Young Living business because of anything Justin Harrison did or said.
No.
And you did not. Your decision with regards to building or not building Young Living had nothing to do with doTERRA.
That is true.
Or your husband's decision to pursue doTERRA, the doTERRA opportunity. Is that true?
I don't understand that last question.
I don't either. Yeah. You did not stop building your Young Living downline or Young Living business because of your husband's decision to pursue doTERRA, the doTERRA opportunity.
That is true.
That's all I have. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Oh my God, there's more.
The court said, "Thank you, Mr. Gaylord." And Mr. Smith said, "Just a couple." Oh, shoot.
This one is 2 pages as well.
Okay, you want to do it?
Yeah.
You have time? Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go.
I think Mr. Gaylord pulled a Mr. Smith and...
Sorry. Oh. There we go.
used the wrong name. When he said there was a phone call in the summer of 2008, he said Mr. Wade called you. Did you understand that to be Mr. Wade Winiger?
In 2000 and what?
2008, the phone call that they just both talked to you about.
Yeah, as far as I understand, but it's Winiger. Yeah, Wade.
Now, on that phone call, counsel suggested that Wade Winiger asked you some questions. He said, quote, "Did you tell him you decided to stop building your Young Living downline?" End quote. Do you remember that question he asked you?
Yes.
Did Wade Winiger ask that question of you?
No, he never asked that.
And the next question, he says, quote, "Did you tell Wade Winiger that you were helping your husband in doTERRA?" Did Wade Winiger ask that of you back in?
He never asked.
Thank you. And then back to Mr. Straight. He has one question.
God dang it, Mr. Straight. How many pages is that? Is it a whole moment?
No, it's like the next page.
Okay, let's do it. You want to do it? I'm like, we're just going let's keep going. It's like, we can't stop.
One more question by Mr. Straight.
Okay.
Next page. Just on that very last couple of questions that Mr. Smith asked you.
Okay.
When Wade Winiger asked you a question or not, did you not tell him those answers, that you had decided to stop building your Young Living business or that you were helping your husband in his doTERRA business?
Mr. Smith said, "Objection. Form of the question said, quote, did not tell him those answers," end quote. Presupposes a question, but his question said, quote, "If no question, did you give him those answers," end quote.
There's so many questions. Okay, happy to rephrase, Your Honor. Regardless of whether Mr. Winiger asked you a question about anything on that call, you did not tell Mr. Winiger that you had decided to stop building your Young Living business, did you?
Mr. Smith said, "Objection. Assumes facts not in evidence." That was a topic that was talked about. The court said overruled.
And the witness, me. So you're asking me if I told Wade that I was no longer actively building doTERRA?
Young Living.
Young Living?
That's what I'm asking you.
Who's on first? Just kidding. That's your question? No, I never told him.
You also did not tell Mr. Winiger that you were helping your husband with his doTERRA business, right?
Yeah, there was no questioning regarding that at all.
Thank you. No further questions. And Mr. Gaylord says, "I think I have one question. But if I say that, I'll have two. So I will not commit to it."
Oh my God.
They committed to it. Okay, so Mr. Gaylord said, "Fair to say that at any time, both before and after you spoke with Wade Winiger, you could have begun rebuilding your business at Young Living?"
Yes.
Thank you. That is all I have.
Um,
Mr. Smith, I think this is the last question. Okay. At the time in August of 2008, when Wade Winokur called you and talked to you, he also talked to your husband on the very same day, correct?
As far as I'm aware, it seems to me that it was on the same day. But I think Wade also was playing, God dang it, phone tag with some of us. So, I mean, I assume it might have been the same day.
Oh, this one's to 32. Was it your understanding, your impression from having talked to your husband and Wade Winokur that Wade Winokur knew at the time that your husband was building a doTERRA business?
Mr. Straight said objection, foundation, calls for speculation. The court said overruled, so the witness gets to answer.
I believe he knew.
Your husband had decided by that date to make sure it was clear that he was not involved in Young Living. Is that correct?
I believe yes. I believe he actually clarified with Wade his intentions, yes, but you'd have to ask my husband.
One more question. When Wade Winokur called you, did he have access to the same financial numbers I just put up, how your business had declined from 2005?
Mr. Straight said objection, foundation, calls for speculation. The court sustained it, so the witness doesn't get to answer.
Wade Winokur was a corporate officer, the attorney for the company?
Uh-huh.
To the best of your knowledge, right?
Yes.
Do you think he would have had the same access to the numbers that we just showed the court a moment ago?
Mr. Straight said objection, foundation, calls for speculation. The court said sustained, so the witness does not get to answer the question, and we're back to Mr. Smith.
When Wade Winokur called you, did he say, can you tell me why your business has dropped since 2005 to when I'm calling you in August of 2008? Did he say anything like that?
No.
Did you explain it to him even though he didn't ask?
No.
Thanks.
And the court said, anything else, Mr. Straight? And Mr. Straight said, no, thank you, Your Honor. And then the court said, any objection to excusing this witness? And so the witness is excused.
We're done with Julie Herbert.
Julie Herbert. Okay. Judy Jellings is next, so we'll have to save that for next stream. And 113 let me see when it starts.
I'm gonna write that down on a Post-it note.
Yes, literally, I know every time
we both finally got it together.
Yeah. Wait, Miss Jellings, please state your full name for the record. Okay.
1132.
Yeah.
1332.
But where it is? Well, doesn't it normally say
It starts it with it just kind of goes in.
Yeah.
Huh, that's
doesn't
weird.
It normally say like?
Well, it says choose my video. Maybe that's why.
Video played. Okay, you're right. Oh, yeah, 1132. The video played at the deposition of Judy Jellings. I would give, if anyone has access to these, which I know people probably won't, but if you ever want to give them to us, we'd love them. We'd love to see them. That would be awesome if we could react to a deposition video. That would be so good.
That would be.
Okay. Y'all, live chat, you've been incredible. I know. I'm just I wish maybe I need to see if a mod would be able to log in on the back end with us for next stream and put some questions, like be able to favorite some or star some questions that we could answer in between breaks so that we could see some
that's
of
what
them.
I've been thinking this whole time.
What are the odds of having Mr. Straight and Mr. Gaylord in the same courtroom? I don't know, but it is wild, especially when we're talking about essential oil companies and how
that's a big issue for them.
How old-fashioned they are with their thinking. How Gary Young was so homophobic and that he had some oils that could fix homophobia, or not homophobia, being gay. Sorry, I was thinking about. I'm sorry that could fix someone's. Could fix someone being gay. Like he talked about it. It's just wild. Okay.
Well,
live chat, you've been incredible. Replay crew, much non-culty love to you. If you have questions or I don't know, something to say, we'd love to read it in the comments. And if you made it to the end of this video, we'd love for you to like the stream. I don't even know where my stream goat is, but we appreciate it. The stream goat thanks you so much for liking the stream on both. If y'all don't already follow Kat, I'm gonna put her channel in the chat real quick so you can go quickly.
I don't know if
Up to her. Nightbot should do this. So Savannah, have a good rest of your day.
Everybody.
Yep, there we go. This is Kat's link in my channel. If you don't know who she is, she's incredible.
The live stream won't start for another 30 minutes, right? So
correct. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I am just going to go in the back end and redirect. So if someone's watching this, it should redirect over there. Here.
That is so cool how you can do that.
Whoops, edit video. It should be in the edit video option and customization. The redirect, I don't think that it's gonna be up in time, but Aaron, let's see. Okay, it will redirect. So when we save, it'll just push you into their chat to wait. So I'm gonna be over there in the chat hanging out.
That's the one we're talking about.
Yep. So so if you're in my chat, it's gonna redirect over there when we end here, even though it won't be up yet, but it will redirect you automatically. So if you wanna stay in here and then it'll just push you over there, that'll be how that works. So thank you so much, everybody. And we can't wait for the tea that's gonna drop in next week's transcript. So we'll let you know when we're gonna stream when we can figure it out, and when we're doing the seance stream with the possession of the essential oils. It's gonna be a good time. So thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh God, how do I